Well, a very good evening to you, boys and girls. It's Tuesday, the 16th of April 2019. A late night show for you today. We haven't done one of these for a while. Now, incidentally, you might hear planes going over. Can you hear that or not? I think the RAF down the road, they're doing some nighttime. I don't know why I'm looking at the microphone. I'm looking at the microphone instead of you. They're doing a little bit of nighttime practicing tonight, so you might hear planes going over. I think that stops usually around about midnight. I'll probably be off by then anyway. Talking of microphones, I hope you can hear me all right. I've forgotten my little tie clip microphone that I took home when I wasn't up here for 2 months. And I've not remembered to bring it back yet, so I've kind of perched the microphone on top of the computer. So I hope you can hear us all right there. You eagle-eyed viewers, regular people, can you notice that there's something missing? Have you noticed there's something? No, not my personality. No. Is there something missing? Have a look around. See if you can notice something missing, all right? Welcome to the show, gang. As always, if you're new to the show, a very warm welcome along. I don't just sit here and read messages all night long. I will come to those in a moment. I just wanted to mention, I was just watching the news while I was having dinner before I came in to have a little bit of a chat with you today, and that Notre Dame, which I know you've probably fed up seeing it on the news today, that whole Notre Dam Cathedral, and that, oh wow, I mean, when I saw that spire fall over on the news, that actually really got to me. Incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. How we can be kind of so sad for simply a building, you know, to go over like, oh, they are noisy. Can you hear those planes? They are noisy tonight. How you can be so sad for simply a building to just go over like that, I do not know. But I mean, I was watching it while I was at work last night, actually. I had a little video up. I was doing a karaoke night last night in London, which was very nice. Nice karaoke night last night. The delightful non-Irish Mary from Ireland made a turn in last night as well. So that was quite nice with little Raffy, who she didn't sing last night for some reason. And of course lots of the regulars. And while it was on, I noticed this news. So I kind of, on the computer, I looked at the news and I saw the video of what was going on. And then this spire just fell over, and that made me incredibly sad last night. I don't know about you, whether it's because I'm Catholic or not, I don't know. I think it would, if it had been any building like Buckingham Palace, if I saw Buckingham Palace burning down, or Big Ben, that would make me incredibly sad as well. But I've never been to the Notre Dame Cathedral. I've been to Paris twice. And don't laugh, I'm not good at finding my way around. I'm really not good at that, unless I've got a sat-nav in front of me. And the only place I really went to was McDonald's and the Champs-Élysées. I didn't find anything else. I thought, well, where's all these posh shops and all that? I didn't know where they were. We went to this particular place, it was like a big building with like lakes in front of it. I don't know where that was, and I went around a park, but I just couldn't find my way around. And I would love to. When I saw I never really noticed it or thought about it before. I knew the name Notre Dame Cathedral, I knew that, and I think I roughly knew the shape of it, but nothing inside. But of course, since it's been on the news, I've been watching it. I thought, my God, you should have gone there. You should have gone there when you went to Paris. I think the last time was quite some time ago now. But yeah, I mean, only time I've really done anything in France is to go to Euro Disney. Shame. But old Macron on the telly tonight, he reckons he can have the whole thing rebuilt in 5 years. Well, good luck with that, mate. I can't see that somehow. 5 years to do all that. Well, good luck. The money's pouring in, isn't it? Pouring in, dear. I haven't made a donation myself yet. Okay, I think £5 in the collection plate on a Sunday is enough, except when I'm playing the organ. I play the organ at church. No, not every week, on a Sunday. Well, the organ is up there. The collection people don't come up there. So whenever I play the organ, I save £5. It don't get any better than that, does it, eh? Let's say hello to some of you tonight who's with us. Mark Jones gets the first message in of the evening. over on Facebook Live. Good morning, Mark. Good evening, Mark, rather. Alan Russell, hello to you. Little Dukey Chrissy baby. Hello, Chris. I did send you a little private message, my darling, when I saw your little face pop up there. Dominique is in the house. Good morning, good evening, Dominique. Hope you're okay, my love. Mark Jones, Shania's probably in bed. I'm sure she is at this time. Although I think she's off for a couple of weeks, isn't she? Shania, who's usually with us first thing in the morning, she often gets the first message in, actually, when she's on holiday from work. So I would guess she might still be up, probably watching something far more interesting than this old crap, to be honest. Alan Russell is in the house. Good evening, Alan. Michael Lawrence, a late one tonight. Yes, indeed. Katie and Patterson, you're always there, Katie. She's in Australia. Hello, Katie. All right, darling. Weird City Citizen over there on YouTube. Good evening, sir. Now we get to say you're late. You're late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. You're late, you're late, you're late, you're late. Now, wasn't that a rabbit sung that? What was that thing? What was that? You're late, you're late. It was a rabbit, wasn't it? Oh, Mad Hatter's Tea Party. That one. What's that film called? Someone tell me. Christina is in Germany tonight. Good evening, Christina Ewing. All the way over there in Germany. Let's see. The Union Jack is missing. No, the Union Jack's there. There it is. Right in the corner there. The Union Jack is there. No, that's not what's missing. Someone noticed. Come on, have a good look around the studio. I'm up at my Lincolnshire television studio complex today, otherwise known as the Caravan. Oh, I haven't got the Caravan on. It's not that. Sorry, I meant to put the Caravan on. There we are. Thank you. The Caravan is on there, as sent in by the delightful Glenda. Thank you, Glenda. No, the other clock. She's got it. Katie Ann Patterson has noticed the other clock is missing. The reason is it kept losing time. You wouldn't have noticed it because every time I just came in here and checked it and adjusted it, you know, but it kept losing time. And my mate said when we go to London in a few weeks' time, he'll probably go in the shop and try and change it and see if we can get one that keeps the correct time. So that's why that's disappeared. Okay, that's back at my house now. Correct. Well done. Good evening to Heidi. Let's have a look. Christina likes the jacket. Christina, I had this on Monday and I wore it Monday to work. Now, unfortunately, I've forgotten to bring any more jackets up here with me. So you're going to see the same one now for 3 or 4 days, I'm afraid. That's all I've got with me up here. I did try and do it just with shirt. And look. Okay. It's not, is it? It doesn't, does it? I don't know if it's the shirt, but I thought I just sat here and I was adjusting my camera just before I came on today, and I thought, oh, I don't know about that. No, I'll go and get the jacket. So that's why it's on. I was going to do jacket on, jacket off, jacket on, jacket off, but I think I'll just leave it on, and we're put up with having to say one. No doubt someone to say something, you know. People look for faults all the time. That's all they do. I'm never keen on people who are. I don't ever ask you to agree with everything that I say. Absolutely not. What would be the point of that, right? But I do kind of ignore the people that are constantly negative comments, permanently negative. They're never ever anything positive. I don't really respond to those much. The constant negative comments that sometimes you might get from someone or whatever. It's like people. It's like negative people all the time. You don't really want to surround yourself with negative people because it will take you down as well. You know, if people are being negative, walk away. Just walk away. You know, you can only take so much negativity all the time. Do you know what I mean? I mean, really. It's too much. And it can send you into depression. It really can. So watch out for negativeness. But I try to ignore them. Michael's hoping to come down to the pub on Friday. Oh, excellent, Michael. Excellent. Well, you'll be given a little treat of a show. We are having karaoke as usual on Good Friday at Central Station, boys and girls. Usual time there, 8:30 to midnight. That's Central Station in London. Okay. Hello to SCTV, a second live show. Greetings, sir. Let's have a look. Katie says on the subjects of the Notre Dame Cathedral, a beautiful building. It certainly was. But the big stained glass window is largely okay, isn't it? Of course, it's going to be black with the soot and what have you. But they'll be able to clean that up. But I can't see that being rebuilt in 5 years. I'm sorry, I can't. Wasn't it York? Was it York Minster? Was it York Minster that burnt down? And they were like 25 years putting that back together or something like that. They're not going to be able to do that in 5 years, surely. I mean, it's very intricate, all these little bits and pieces. The funny thing is, with modern building and that, they can probably make it look identical to you and me as lay people. You know, we will go in there. Hopefully, I'll still be there. I'll still be around. But when it's completed, I will absolutely go to France because I'd like to see that Notre Dame Cathedral. And we would go in and we'd look around. We wouldn't know that it had been repaired. That they're that good at stuff. There's stuff, I think it's York Minster that was burnt down, but they rebuilt all that. And to you and me, if we go in, oh, that's wonderful, you know, all this different architecture from all those years gone by. No, it's only been up there a few years, but they can make it so that it looks exactly the same. I mean, I can't do anything like that. I'm always in great awe at, shall we say, real men who can go out and fix and do anything. I wish I could do that. I'm bloody useless at DIY and that sort of thing. In fact, while I was having a little afternoon sleep today, there was a bit of a noise outside when the wind was blowing. So I thought, oh, that must be, there's something obviously come loose around the bottom of the caravan or somewhere. So this evening, because it's still light now at 7, isn't it lovely to have the light nights back? Eh? Isn't that marvellous to have light nights back? I love it. So about 7 o'clock, I woke up, had a cup of tea, and I went outside to have a look around. And I couldn't really find anything loose, other than a bucket which I'd put over the top of one of the gas boxes outside. So I've taken that off and put something else on there which doesn't move. And also I've got a wooden skirting all around the caravan, and I noticed a bit of that was loose, and it kind of, I could push it and it would knock against the side. I thought, I bet that's it. So I discovered that a couple of screws were out of it. It may be that, I don't know how that happened. It might have been the people who did the underlay, they forgot to put the screws in. But I couldn't find any screws there. Although, actually, no, it can't be them, because they would have had to move a big... No, it wasn't them. It must have just happened on its own. Anyway, so this wooden bit is attached, and these screws were... One looked like it was broken, and the other was just out. And all I had to do was find 2 screws and put them in. No, can't do it. I put one screw in, missed the bit of wood. So, so if you've got say it's like a fence, you know, you've got a fence like that and a bit of wood, but you screw it to. And I put the screw in, no, missed the bit of wood completely. Then I got another screw, put that in. I thought, is that it? No, and it just didn't seem to go through all the way. It looked like it was through, but at the other end, I thought, well, that's not long enough. So the only other thing I found was something my brother-in-law gave me some time ago. This screw, which is about that long, and I managed to get that in. So that held that end, but to be honest, I think it needs a few more screws all the way along. So, and at the other end, there was like, there's like a bit which is there and a bit which is there, but it was loose. Okay, so this is what I did. So I found some sticky foam double-sided tape, which is so thick, and I got a couple of bits of that and shoved it in there so that it doesn't rock anymore. So if that fixes it, then I know all I've got to do is put screws along it. I'm so useless at DIY. Painting, don't even ask. Don't even ask me to do any painting. And the other thing is, I've not really got any interest in it as well. You know, if you're not interested in something, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But you know, you get ahead. My brother-in-law would have done it. Quite honestly, I'm a bit shy to say, oh, do you mind coming to put a couple of screws in the side, because I can't do it. How embarrassing is that? I mean, the holes... do you see, I had to remove the old screws first. Well, they wouldn't come out. I kept anti-clockwise turning them, and they just turned. They didn't come back out. How'd you get those out? So I kind of went behind the wood, and I held it, and of course I screwed like that, but then it hurts your fingers, doesn't it? Because it cuts up all your fingers. Never mind. Never mind. Hello to Christopher Ireland. Hello there. The payment from saving from collection is your payment for playing of it. It's like wages, isn't it, Christopher? It's like wages. That saving that £5, not having to put in a collection plate. You're absolutely right. Christopher, you're very, very observant. You know what I mean? You're very, very observant, sir. It's a beautiful day. Oh, my microphone's moving. See, this is DIY here. The microphone is literally perched on top of the computer and it keeps moving. We're a beautiful day in Queensland, in Australia, which is where Katie is, of course. Alice in Wonderland was the film. Thank you, Weird City, and Katie Ann Patterson. You're late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. You're late, you're late, you're late. That's the one. That's the one. Michael was going to see the cathedral last week. Oh, it's just such a shame. It really is. Well done, Heidi. The clock is missing. Yes, indeed it is. Hello to Thomas H. over on Vaughan Live. Greetings. SCT Van is starting a petition to ban my current shirt. 80s called and want it back. You're not having it. This is a nice shirt, this is. I like this. It's very comfortable. You know what I mean by comfortable? Do you know what I mean by comfortable? That is when you've got a bit fat again and the shirt is far too large for you. That's what I call comfortable. Yeah, a bit of weight gone back on again. Oh, what can you do? We worry. Do you know, I think we worry too much about weight. I really do. And it's... When I'm up here, okay, my brother-in-law, my sister, my nephews, my great-nieces and nephews... They don't say to me, oh, you're putting a bit of weight, Chris. Doesn't happen here. It only happens when you're out with other gays. It has to be said. Has to be said. And then when you say something, oh, you know we're only joking. It's quite right. Quite right. It doesn't happen up here. And I think that's why it doesn't worry me what I eat up here. What I've had today is shocking, dear. Because we've been to Skegness today. Oh, yes. We've been to Skegness in the fun bus. What's the fun bus? Let me tell you. My nephew, Gary, he's got 3 children. Harry, there's Evie, and there's Olivia. Olivia is severely disabled, so they get some help with certain things. One of which, they get this, like, minibus. Because Olivia is permanently in, like a... Is it like a special pram come wheelchair type thing. It's a very big thing and it's got oxygen bottles and all that, and that's how it will always be for her. So they've got a bus, little sort of minibus, and he calls it the fun bus because when we're all in it together we have fun. Me and Harry were sitting at the front singing away and doing stupid things. There will be a little video of that. Okay, I've yet to put that together. I've got all the clips together. I was just about to do it before I was going to do this. And I thought, no, I'll do a live show instead. So I've got that to put together. Hopefully, I might have it done for tomorrow morning's show, okay? In which case, I'll play it out then. Otherwise, I'll upload it separately. Incidentally, there is there's 3 very short videos on my Facebook wall. If you're not on my Facebook, it's Chris Reardon UK. Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. There's 2 rather funny ones. I won't tell you what happens in them. Just scroll down below this particular show, okay, and you should see them only on Facebook. Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. One is entitled Kebab Shop. One is entitled Martin's Chips. Or Chip Shop, something like that, and the other one is entitled Look What You Can Now Buy at Sports Direct. 3 short videos on my wall which I think will amuse you. None of them are longer than about 45 seconds, a minute long. Alright, so our trip to Skegness, I'll come to that in a minute. Let's just do some of your messages, otherwise I won't keep up. Hello to Angus Butler. That's a great name. Angus. What a great name. I've only ever known one Angus before, and I worked with him 28 years ago at a place called Harpo's in Earls. It's surprising. I think about that like it was yesterday. A place called Harpo's in Earls Court, where I was like the main DJ there, and he was working behind a bar. Angus was his name. I think he was Australian. He's gone back to Australia somewhere, so I know that name, Angus. Welcome to the show. Hello to Roy Brownlow. Very good evening to you. Autographs after the show from Roy Brownlow. Just give him a message and he'll happily sell you one. He don't give anything away for nothing. Thank you very much. Hello to Wayne Martin. You'd want to play the organ there. You know what, Wayne? I was absolutely thinking that. I was totally thinking that. I was thinking, wow. When I saw the organ on the news, and it was this blonde. He didn't look very old, the organist, did he? He looked about 32, something like that. Blonde-haired bloke. And it showed him, obviously, before the fire, him playing the organ and all the different stops and what have you. The organ I play at our church, we have an electric one, which sounds pretty good. It's not a pipe one, but that we don't have stops. We have buttons, so you just touch the button. One of them isn't working. I meant to report that. And you just push buttons and they light up and do your stuff and what have you. So, yeah, I'd love to have a go at that one. I've played some lovely organs in different churches. I had a go at the one at the Brompton Oratory. That was our school one. St Joseph's in Roehampton, St Simon's in Putney, a couple of churches. One at the Church of England here, actually. St Peter's Church in Woodhall Spa. That's an old-fashioned one. And on Norfolk Island in the South Pacific, I played on a really old pipe organ there. Beautiful instrument. And an electric one in another church there. The only trouble is with the old pipe organs now, they're very expensive to maintain because, of course, you know, as people have moved over to electric organs, they don't really go wrong. You know, you plug them in and they're all right for years and years. It's like electric pianos. You know, I've got an electric piano at home that I bought with my wages from the New Year's Eve 1999 to 2000. And so that's 19 years old now. You plug in, never have to tune it. Sounds fantastic. There is a little problem with it at the moment. It's got two headphone sockets and one of them is busted. I don't know what's wrong with that one, so I just plug into the other one. But when that one goes, I don't know, I suppose I'll have to have it fixed or something. But I'd like a little piano over here. Obviously with a headphone socket because the sound insulation isn't very good in caravans. But I'd like a little piano here. Not a keyboard. I think a proper piano with an organ and of course a headphone jack. I was looking around on Facebook. What's it called? Marketplace for such things, and there's quite a lot there. Some of them are free. I've got one here right in front of me. There's like a beautiful. I wish I could show it to you really, but what's this one here? This is a 50 quid job. Let's have a look at that. Now that's a nice one. Now, see if there's anything. Where's that one? Rayleigh. Where's Rayleigh? I don't know where that is. Oh, click on the map. Hang on a minute. Click on that. Oh, that's miles away, isn't it? Stroud, Hannington. I don't know where. Oh, Raleigh. Is that? Oh, is that Basildon way? Rayleigh. You see, that's too far away. That's only 50 quid. That one. 50 quid. Now these things brand new are. I think you can get a basic one for about 250 quid and upwards, depending on what you want on it. But you can pick things up like that on Marketplace. Some people are giving stuff away. There's a 2-key one on here that is free to anyone who wants to go and collect it. But it's a big thing, and I don't know if it'd be a bit too big for me here. Plus, it doesn't say or not whether it's got a headphone socket. But that's a proper organ, you know, with lots of keys and pedals down the bottom. Free. So they can't give them away. No one wants such. You know, you've got to want one of these things particularly. Not a normal person. I say normal, you know. Not many people would want a proper piano keyboard. A lot of people have got the little things that you buy from Argos. You know, sort of, I don't know, 70, 80 quid. You put it on a table and do that. It's not the same sort of thing. Once you're used to playing a full-size piano, then that's how it is. I don't read music, incidentally. I just I listen and play like that. Christina, the French news reported that a human chain was formed to help save the artwork. Yes, indeed it was. And presumably some of those people must have put their lives at risk. Because you never know in a fire. Terrible things, fires. Terrible. And it catches so quickly. I've seen stories of caravans that go up for whatever reason. You know, there's 101 reasons why you'd start a fire accidentally. But caravans, once they get going, few minutes, it's gone. Literally, so quick. So quick. And I gather the fire people in Paris as well, I gather there's ways to put the fire out without damaging the buildings. If they'd have done it another way, it would have destroyed the whole building. They're very, very lucky to have anything still standing, really. Argus wants to ask me something. Yes, you ask me anything you want, Angus, all right? Optimistically cynical. Hello to you. Welcome. He wants. Optimistically cynical. He's watching on the YouTube. Is asking the question: have you ever stabbed an autistic raccoon and then re-examined everything in your life? No. Do you think this is something that I should do? Hello to Jade Sam. Welcome along to Jade. I screwed everything up, Jade. Believe me, I'm no good at DIY at all. Alright. Foam will get rain on it. Oh yes. Well, no, it's not stuck on, Roy. The sticky bit's on there, but I've pushed it into the gap. So it stops the wood banging against each other. But it will need a screw in there, absolutely. Which part of the UK are you from? Originally, I'm from London. Born in Wimbledon and brought up in South London. Peckham, Roehampton, a little bit of Slough. And then I bought a flat in Wandsworth. No, sorry, I didn't buy a flat. Yes, I did. I bought a flat in Wandsworth. And then I bought a house in Bracknell in Berkshire. And that's where my house is, in Bracknell in Berkshire. Right at the moment, I'm in Lincolnshire in a caravan. Oh, sorry, my Lincolnshire television studio complex. All right, Angus? Let's have a look. Perching is not classified as DIY. Hello to James Essex and Southerners, bloody Southerners. They're a real problem, James, to be honest. Katie is quite right. She says, there's more to you thin. Just wait, Chris. Yeah, there's more to you than wait. Yeah, there really is. There really is. Okay. Let's have a look. Rosemary Dixon, a very good evening to you, Rosemary, over there on YouTube. Rosemary, I noticed you've been sending us some messages on the private message. I don't really use that, Rosemary. It's not that I'm not. I really don't use that like private message thing on there, my darling. But very good evening to the young Rosemary Dixon this evening, one of our lovely Manilow ladies. Hello to Courtney. Good evening, Courtney. Chai is in the house. Chai turned up at the karaoke last night. She's lovely. She's such a wonderful voice. Good evening, Chai. It's got to be a year since I last saw you. And it's surprising how the time goes. How many years have I known you now, Chai? You know, when you first walked into that Belushi's in London Bridge or Hammersmith, one of those two, wasn't it? Yeah, so many years. So many years. Hello to Junket. Welcome to the show. Did you ever go to Brompton's Earls Court before it closed? Yes, I think once. I didn't really like it. There was something that I felt uneasy about in there. Don't know what it was. But Brompton's, no. I wasn't too keen on Brompton's. Hello to Tony Power. A very good evening to you. Angus, if you've got that sort of problem, have a look on Google. I'm sure you'll be able to work it out on there. All right. James, is it Raleigh? Is it Raleigh? Is it Raleigh or Raleigh? Raleigh is in Essex, so that's going to be too far for me to travel for something like that. Mind you, for 50 quid, it's not bad as well. Junket says, you look like someone big in the world of antiques. Did you work on QVC? No. Some people actually, Junket, have actually mistaken me for an antique. That is true. I applied to go on the Antiques Roadshow and they said they didn't need any more exhibits, so I'm not going to be on there after all, unfortunately. Chai's been watching me organ playing. Such a beautiful, haunting sound. Oh, you found it, Chai, then. Well done, my darling. I've never ventured beyond the blacks and whites of a weighted Yamaha keyboard. That's what I've got at home, Chai. I've got a piano, and it's a Yamaha, and it's weighted. Big difference between the organs. An organ and a piano. An organ generally isn't weighted. What do I mean by weighted? When you push the keys down, they don't go down really easily on an organ, you know, like that. With a piano, they're weighted. So the idea is, you know, you can play soft or loud by how heavily you play. On an organ, it's just on, okay, and you've got pedals at the bottom. So very different way those things work there. The organ isn't I don't find it complicated anymore, but that might be why because I've been playing them for so many years now. Basically you've got a long line of buttons or stops, okay, Very basically, each one has like some sort of instrument or sound written on it, like flute, oboe, stuff like that, Borden or something like that. And there's a number. It might say 16 or 8 or 4 or 2. Now 16 would be a really deep sound. Okay, so I had 16 like that, and 2 would be like that. And they're different instruments, and you push the buttons down in various combinations to get different sounds. Or you can just have one. If you wanted sort of something mid-range, you'd have 8, something with a number 8 on it. So you push that number 8, maybe, and there would be like 3 or 4 different number 8s that you could select from, combine, or put them all down. And that's how you get the different sounds, you see. At the end of Mass, I tend to have most of the stops down, almost all of them, which which makes a very, very loud sound. But if you want it to sound like a cathedral, which a couple of people have been coming up to me, so you make it sound like a cathedral in here, that's why. I've got all the stops down, and I've got the pedal underneath me fully open. You get, oh, it sounds fantastic. Honestly, it's not about making it sound loud. It's about making it sound good. And for me, it just depends who's playing the thing. You know, there's a lady in there. She always plays very, very quietly, very quietly. I play loud. That's just how it is, and how you kind of fit in. And you know the Mass, Chai. You know, there's certain hymns that you want quiet. Communion, for example, you wouldn't want something blasting out your speakers, would you? Communion, but you would right at the very end and right at the beginning. So it's all about how you interpret what's going on, I think, in front of you as well. So that's how that works. Generally, for a sort of a normal hymn, you might have on the pedals. The pedals play the bass note. Yeah. So you might have a 16. You might have 2 16s and an 8 there. In the middle, you might have an 8, a 4, a 2, and a mixture. A mixture is a mixture of all of them, and it just sounds fantastic. You can get all these different sounds from an organ, and it really is, as you say, it's an instrument of the gods. It's fantastic. It really is. Let's have a look. Oh, someone's asking for your autograph there, Tony. Yes, someone's asking for your autograph there. Thank you very much. I hope your caravan don't go up. The shirt will never burn. I don't think it will. Neither will I. You can't burn something that's already cinders, is it? Let's have a look. Let's just scroll down a little bit. There's so many in there. Tony, I've had a wonderful evening at the London Eurovision party on Sunday. Spain, Albania and Norway, I think, are going to do well at the Eurovision. Thank you, Tony. I thought you were going to come out of it completely. I'm glad you didn't. I understand where you were coming there. Tony writes songs for the Eurovision, and he and I notice how it's now taking a different direction to what it was. But I think really, Tony, you and I, that's because we're old school now. You see, funnily enough, I was watching that bloke Macron, the French bloke on the telly today, doing his speech to all the people of France and that, and it suddenly occurred to me how young he actually is and looks. And I think people of a certain age, including myself, and including a lot of my friends who are of a similar age, some older, some a little bit younger, say 45, say the age group 45 to 80, okay? Some of my friends in that age group. I was watching this Macron and how he was talking and all that. And it suddenly occurred to me that perhaps there is an age where you have to say, okay, we've had our go, now it's time to hand it all over to someone younger. For whatever the reason, you know. Take for an example, Brexit. Take, for example, Brexit. Maybe that should all be handed over to someone younger. And we do know, if it was handed to younger people, generally I think they probably would have. I don't want this to go into a Brexit conversation. Generally, I think they probably would have voted to remain. But nevertheless, I do wonder at what point you should hand it over to someone else. Okay, you've done your bit. Go off and relax now. We'll look over after it. Do you know what I mean? And that's how Macron was coming over to me today. You know, he's young. He's got these other ideas. No doubt he's having hassle from older people than him that still run around as whatever it is they are in France, MPs, whatever they are. You know, and I do think sometimes, you know, perhaps actually, yeah, you need to stand aside now and let young people like Macron take over, you see. Perhaps that could be same for our governments here as well. You know, well, we've got Jeremy Corbyn, who's old, Theresa May, who's old, Vince Cable, who's old, even Nigel Farage. They're all older people, aren't they? Perhaps they should be replaced by, I don't know, late 20-somethings, early 30s. On the other hand, the older people have got lots of experience. So when things go wrong, it might already have happened. Although the young people would have a different way of dealing with it. You know, I do wonder sometimes you should stand aside. I think certainly me as a DJ, when I was DJing, you know, I became aware that, hang on a minute, you get a little bit too old for this now. I'd got bored with it as well, so I stood aside. And the people that replaced me when I gave up my job, they weren't anywhere near the age I was now. So it's his turn, or her turn now, you see. You need to know when to stand aside, because you can't hold on forever doing this stuff, can you? SCTV fan is kindly helping out our other viewers there. Thank you very much, Chris. Would you go, Junket wants to know, would you go on Strictly Come Dancing with Louis Spence? No, I wouldn't. I can't bear him. Oh, he can't talk properly, can he? Like that. Oh, can you just imagine? You'd just have your face sprayed all the time, wouldn't you? No, thank you. Not my sort of thing. I don't think I can dance anyway. You've got to be fairly fit to dance, haven't you? Mind you, Gemma Collins managed on that strictly Dancing on Ice thing, didn't she? You know, and she's not that takes some doing. I've got to say, I'm not a fan, as you know, of Gemma Collins, but to go on there, I presume she'd never skated before. Yes, she went over once and she got up and she blooming well carried on going. Congratulations. That takes some doing. I can't bear her. What I don't like is talentless people on the television, which is probably what you're thinking while you're watching me today. But but when I saw her go on there, I thought, you know, credit where credit is due. To go on and do that, I wouldn't do it. I've tried ice skating. Oh, God blimey, no, thank you very much. Let me get comfortable. I don't want to do any more ice skating. I've tried it a couple of times, and I just feel flat on my arse. What about you? Anyone do ice skating there? Christina's back in the UK next week, hoping for the Chris Reardon Road show starting in Portsmouth. You know, someone, oh, excuse me, burped then. How rude is that? How rude is that? Someone said that to me. Why don't you set up a chair on the stage and do one of your chat shows in a pub or something? I don't think that would work. I don't see how that would work. It's a different thing altogether going into a live situation. I honestly don't think something like that would ever work. Sitting in here, got your messages coming in now, got news stories all lined up on the left here, a little script which I haven't even referred to yet. It's all there. You know, when you're in a live situation, what would you do? You'd do this chat there. How would that work? People would be shouting at me rather than, and you know, people wouldn't wait. They wouldn't wait, would they? That's the thing. While you're sitting here, I can refer to the messages and then come back to the story. If you were in a live situation, you can just imagine now, people like Roy Brownlow would just be shouting at me all the time. Wouldn't you, Roy? David Dickinson. Oh, no. Do I look like him? Talk about orange. I hope I don't look too orange here. Hello to Stuart. Stuart. A very good evening to you, Stuart. Tytherley. Is that how you say it, Stuart? I worked with Stuart in the Golden Lion, which was in King's Cross. It's gone now. Some years ago, I did karaoke nights there, which were great. You remember Gwen, who sadly no longer live with us. She passed away about quite a number of years now, wasn't it? We had this elderly lady who was, I think she was about 65 years old, perhaps a little bit older than that, who used to come along to the karaokes with me, and unfortunately she got some sort of cancer and that, and we lost her. But she was a wonderful, wonderful lady, Gwen. Gwen. She was in some sort of competition, I believe. I can't remember what it was now, but she won the competition and ended up singing on the stage in Trafalgar Square, I think it was. What a wonderful thing to, and then shortly, I think it was within a year or so after that, we lost her, unfortunately. But I'm so glad that she achieved something like that before we lost her. I think singing at karaoke absolutely meant the world to her. She loved it. I went to see her in the hospital, Barnet Hospital. I went to see her a couple of times there, and I think she was a little bit drugged up at the time. As I say, this is a few years ago now. She was a little bit drugged up at the time because, you know, they make you comfortable and all that. You know the score, don't you? And her husband was there one night, and I'd never met him before. And I went to leave, and he said, "Oh, I'll see you out, okay." So as I was leaving there, he said to me, he said, "I want to thank you, Chris." I said, "Oh, it's all right. I don't mind coming to seeing people in hospital." He said, "No, not that." He said, "You don't realise what pleasure you've given my wife all these years coming to sing at your karaoke. And when you get a comment like, and I have comments like that occasionally while I'm doing this show, you get a little private message from someone, and I do keep them private. I don't read out, you know, I don't know, John from Putney has sent me in this message saying how wonderful he thinks. I would never do that. No, I'd be too embarrassed anyway. I'd be too embarrassed. But to have someone say that to you on the way out, when someone's, you know, on their way out, it was just wonderful. Just wonderful. And she left a daughter and what have you. So that was Gwen. Yeah, wonderful lady, Gwen. So that's Stuart, who he would have known Gwen. All right, Michael Pomon. Good evening, Michael. In Australia, you must have been up for a while now, haven't you? What's the time in Australia? About 10 in the morning, something like that. Hello there. Now, I've got a foreign-looking name there. It could be Russian or possibly Greek or Cypriot, something like that. Really sorry, I don't know how to say that. It's Oktsmak, something like that. It says, I know it's extremely weird, but believe me, but what do I know that I felt into how you speak? I mean, your pronunciation. Well, it depends where you are in the UK. We all talk differently in the UK. You know, don't go to Newcastle. You won't understand a word of what's being said up there. I mean, God knows how Cheryl Cole has kept a job all these years on the telly. I've been told I speak Thames Estuary. I'm not quite... I don't know what that means. I speak Thames Estuary. I'm not Cockney. And I'm certainly not posh. I'm Thames Estuary, apparently. Because it's the way I say the S's or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But wherever you are in the UK, and I'm sure it's the same in every other country, you know, depending on what part of the country you're in, that's how you'll talk. Chai is thanking me for organ lesson number 101. All right, Junket says Rick Wakeman used a church to record the song Parallel. Well, you'd get certain acoustics in a church, you know, everywhere has different acoustics. Wasn't there one of the Beatles songs they recorded in a toilet? Is that right? Or there was some... It might not have been the Beatles. I remember seeing the story once that something was recorded actually in a toilet because they liked the acoustics in there. Oh, hang on. Was it Mr. Blue Sky? ELO? Could have been ELO. You know that one? Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't no clouds above. That one? You might remember that one. Chris. Oh, you're talking to each other there. Thank you. Roy is quite right. Catholics just drink the wine, eat the bread, say a few Hail Marys and go to the bar afterwards. Hello to Jerry Millen. A very good evening to you, Jerry. Anthony is in Florida today. Welcome to the show, Anthony. Would I do Big Brother? Michael Lawrence says. Absolutely not. You must be joking. Trash television. Awful, awful television. I wouldn't do Big Brother. I've turned down Love Island so many times now. You know, I mean, they even sent me a pair of sparkling shorts and told me to meet them on the island of Malibu to record Love Island. So, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too busy doing my shows in the morning here. They said, well, we can bring all your stuff out here to Malibu, can have your own little studio, carry on doing your shows, but please, we beg of you, will you go in Love Island? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm not putting up with lots of little girls and little boys walking around getting their tits out and their arses, showing off the pecs and what have you. I'm sorry, I'm far too classy like that for them. Far too classy for that. Okay. Katie's roller skated. I had roller skates once, Katie. Yeah, they were a bit easier than ice skates. They were no good on the grass though, unfortunately. All right. Hello to Ian Days. Welcome to the show, Ian, and the lovely Paul Dow is there. 9 o'clock in the morning in Queensland at the moment. So good morning, Queensland. Good morning, Queensland. Talking of class, I've just finished watching an excellent series on the BBC iPlayer called Pose. It's about gay life in the 1980s. It's all there. I've mentioned this a few times on the morning show that I do, but you may not have heard of this yet. It's called Pose, P-O-S-E, BBC iPlayer. It's all there. The music of the 80s, gay life is there, a club. There's men who are becoming women. There's the whole AIDS story there as well. It's great. It's really great. And my favourite character, let me remember her name, is Miss Electra Abundance. She is hilarious. And it's funny, and it's sad, and everything in between. Please, please watch that. There's about, I think it's about 8 episodes altogether. So the programme is called Pose on the BBC iPlayer. You are going to love Miss Electra Abundance. You will absolutely love her. Okay. Hello to Logan. Just come across this, if you don't mind asking. What is it? A chat show. Welcome along to the show. Okay. Which will probably be finishing soon. How long have we been going? We haven't been going for 53 minutes already, have we really? Gosh. Don't the time go quick? It really does. Let's have a look there. What have I got there? I've done that bit there, haven't I? I've done that bit there. Good. I've got a couple of stories for you today. You carry on chatting away if you want to, boys and girls. Pets. Look at this. Pets with instant appeal. It's kind of a bit sad, this story, which is in yesterday's Daily Mirror, and it says you need to get your profile picture up to scratch. What do you do when you're a mutt, desperate to get your paws on a new owner, but you look, well, a bit rough? You need to change your profile picture. Really sad to know in the Daily Mirror that over half of British people have admitted they would reject an animal up for adoption if its profile picture wasn't up to scratch, new research has found. Now, this is very similar, I think, to the likes of Tinder and Grindr and Scruff and all these other dating apps, whether they be straight or gay. You know, if that picture you've put up there isn't perfection, then flick and you're gone. There's a lot of people out there who look reasonable but can't take a very good picture or don't look good on the camera, and they're all walking around lonely now. That's what's happened to me. Can't get a good profile picture. I'm sure that's what it is. Flick, that's it. You're never to be seen again. Not like the old days, is it, boys and girls? You know, where you go into a club somewhere, beginning of the night, there's all these beautiful people. None of them are chatting you up. As the night goes on, those beautiful people are getting a little bit more drunk now. And the beautiful people haven't picked up anyone else beautiful because that beautiful person is looking for someone who's more beautiful than them. It's never going to happen, is it? And then as the beautiful people got a little bit more drunk, you might get chatted up. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I've been scored a few times like that. So, eventually, Yeah, you get hold of someone in a club. So what if they were a bit drunk when they were when they were chatting up? You're with them now, aren't you? But with dating apps, not that easy, I don't think. And I think that's I really think that's a disadvantage of dating apps. Is that I think it's going to leave a hell of a lot of people lonely and depressed and unhappy. It's all right for a quick one. Oh yeah, let's have that one tonight. Let's have that one tonight. You see what I mean? Very, very different. And all these people that used to pull at the end of the night, they don't pull at all anymore. It's the same with pets. The Daily Mirror says, posting the perfect shot on Instagram or other social media channels now impacts the chances of thousands of unwanted cats, dogs, birds and other animals seeking new homes, simply cast off due to the quality of the image. This is really sad. RSPCA figures have revealed breeds such as English Bull Terriers can take up to 98 days to rehome, while black cats, notoriously tough to photograph, up to 30 days. I had a black, well, I didn't have a black cat, but I had a lodger 28 years ago or so now, something like that. Nice lad he was, and he had 2 cats, one of which was a jet black cat. Beautiful. I don't understand people who don't want a black cat. Why? What, because it's black? I don't get that. They're beautiful. And I don't know, I don't want to say there are ugly cats, but I've seen some cats that are quite, shall we say, not normal looking cats. You know, maybe there's one eye missing or one leg. You've seen cats hobbling along, and they're the ones that I want to pick up and hug. I can't have a cat, unfortunately, because it plays havoc with my chest. I had 3 cats in the past, and I loved all of them. But the fact is, since I lost the last one, which was coming up to 2 years ago now, my asthma has almost completely stopped. It's only at my sister's house because she's got dogs. I can't have a pet, unfortunately. But if I was to have another cat, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest what blooming colour it was, or whether it had one eye or no eyes at all. So, I think it's really sad that the RSPCA charity has joined forces with smartphone brand, I can never say this, Huawei. That's how you say it, Huawei, which has donated new devices to the rehoming centre to improve the quality of the profile pictures used on its website in a bid to increase adoption rates. Literally, people are looking at the photo. Oh, it's not cute. Let's not have that one. How horrible is that? I suppose in years to come they'll be able to do that with babies, won't they? You know, you'll be able to, at the moment you can have a scan and yes, it's all okay and it's a boy or a girl. Presumably at some point they'll be able to, I don't know, scan it. Well, oh, its nose is a bit big. Oh, don't want that. Isn't it horrible? Not cute enough. Sad, that is sad. Dr. Samantha Gaines, head of pet welfare at RSPCA, said, "We go above and beyond to find all the animals in our care a loving, forever home, and we want to do our best to show them and their unique characters in the best light." Because of course every pet is different. You'll have 10 cats all in a row. Each one will have a different personality when you get to know them. Dogs, everyone, different personality. It says here, every pet is an individual with its own personality and needs, and it's so important that they find the right home. We've partnered with Huawei to raise awareness about our harder to rehome pets and hope their new perfect profile pictures will help them find forever homes. And it has to be said, this is in the Daily Mirror, on the I think it's in the weird news section on the Daily Mirror, and it has to be said there are pictures of these animals. One taken before the makeover and one after. And it has to be said, a skinny, malnourished dog can be made to look a lot better depending on the pictures. Like I'm looking here, there's a cat like that, and then she's laying down like that. And the picture of the cat laying down like that, you know, all happy, waiting to be stroked, does look better than the other one. Even there's budgies there as well. 2 different pictures of budgies, and you can see the difference. I get where they're coming from there. But just because it don't look right, you don't want to adopt it. That's sad. That's sad. I've got another animal story for you in a minute. Okay. Chai. It's a quintessential social media... oh, thank you. Thank you, Chai. She's describing the show here. Now, let's see how Chai describes this show. A quintessential social media radio show. If you want every topic under the sun covered, you've got it here. With the eccentric dear, eccentric and hilarious DJ pundit and humane human called Chris Rich. Chai, I need you to be working for me as my social media expert. Hello to Mike Reese Ponso in Cyprus. Thank you. You talk about stuff and nonsense. People like stuff and nonsense. Hey, Katie's got a black cat. Beautiful things. I love cats of all colours. Black, well, I do like black cats. If they walk in front of you, you don't want any of that. That's supposed to be unlucky, isn't it? If a black cat walks like across you like that, be very scared after that. Chai loves cats. The only pets I've ever had aside from a short-lived goldfish. Oh, did you see that story? The oldest goldfish has died. 44 years old it was. Yeah, 44 years, and it didn't think it was getting anywhere, you know. Mike's got a black cat as well. Look at that. Ian had a 3-legged cat and it was nicknamed Tripod. Oh, you are awful tonight, people. You're awful people. Look, it's Wednesday now, and it's Wednesday already. We'll do another animal story there. It's another one from the RSPCA. The RSPCA's Elibert was called to Farm Hill in Exeter, which is down there on the southwestern Cornwall, after a local resident had called in with concerns about a fox they'd spotted hiding under a bush. Ellie told Devon Live the fox was described as a lethargic and collapsed in the undergrowth. The caller said it looked like it had been losing weight in recent weeks and hadn't moved for the past few days. We asked them to try the broom test to ensure the fox was still alive, and were told that it didn't move but tracked them with its eyes and seemed to be breathing well. Can you hear that? Blimey, 10 past 12 at night. They're still flying those RAF boys tonight. They're very late this evening. They're usually packed up by 12 o'clock. We've got an RAF base very near where I am at the moment in Coningsby. And you get those, I don't know what those, I think they're Eurofighters, triangular planes. And you usually get like 3 or 4 of them going up in sort of formation and doing their practicing manoeuvres up there. Anyway, back to the story. We asked them to do the broom test to ensure the fox was still alive, and were told that it didn't move but tracked them with its eyes and seemed to be breathing well. But despite appearances, the fox was beyond help. But despite appearances, Ellie explained, as soon as I arrived, I realised it wasn't live, but a dead fox had been stuffed. Oh, would you have your pet stuffed? Or what about a member of your family? Apologies if you've just lost someone. This may be, you know, I don't want to make light of people dying, but, you know, is there any sort of member of your family that once they die, would you want them stuffed? Perhaps a loved one, someone that you love. You know, rather than bury them in the ground or send them up in the chimney, why not just have them stuffed and you then can forever have them sitting next to you? You could have some sort of heating element inside as well, so that they're always warm. You know, they don't feel cold dead. Just a suggestion. Who would want me stuffed sitting next to them for all eternity? The story goes on. He'd clearly been placed under a bush outside the house as a prank. After speaking to some of the neighbours, I soon discovered that someone had been moving it around the neighbourhood. To preclude any more unnecessary panic, Ellie threw the stuffed fox in a bin. How awful. That's awful. Hello to Gustav. Good evening, Gustav. Wayne, it's good luck if a black cat walks across your path. Oh, I thought it was bad luck. Oh, maybe I'm wrong there, Wayne. You know more than me. All right. Earlscourt is smashed in. Gustav is smashed in Earlscourt. Have you been to Dave's pub tonight, Gustav? How's he doing? I haven't seen him for ages now. Hello to Paul and Lou. Christ. I've often said that you're late, but we have been going today for about an hour and 5 minutes now, and you've only just joined us. Well, I ain't going to go much longer now. Time for my bed. I want another cup of tea before I go to bed as well. Gustav, should I ring? No, the phone lines are not open tonight, I'm afraid. Oh, that reminds me, I haven't done my text messages. Is anyone on the text? Maureen is. Hello to Maureen. Maureen. Oh, sorry, Maureen. She sent this 55 minutes away, but I know Maureen stays for the whole show, so I know you'll read this message. Sorry, Maureen, I forgot to read out the text messages. Yeah, you're quite right. The hour clock is missing. It was running slow, so we're going to get that trying to get that changed. Okay. Yeah, Dominic says Gustav shouldn't ring. Dominic, you're absolutely right. Wayne, we could have you stuffed, and then we'd have shows forever. Yeah, but I wouldn't be talking though, would I? I suppose, you know, in times, in years to come, I suppose they could fit some sort of voice box with, you could have lots of just words put in, and then it would automatically talk, wouldn't it? Me. Gustav wants me stuffed, but the stuffing would cost a fortune. Michael wants to be mummified. I think there are people who actually do. There's a club that allows people to go and mummify each other. I'm not joking, there is. There's a club. Little message from Gustav to Maureen. He says he loves you, Maureen, alright? You've obviously been giving him too many chocolate bars, dear. Don't give chocolate bars to Gustav. You have seen what he's like now, dear. Please don't give them to him. It's just getting worse and worse. Alright, let's do Tuesday's birthdays. Excuse, can I just have a sniff? Oh dear, excuse me. Right, we'll do Tuesday's birthdays. I won't do Wednesday's birthdays because we should have a show tomorrow morning, my darlings, okay? God knows what I'm going to talk about tomorrow morning because I've done it all tonight, haven't I? Never mind, there might be some other news story. Perhaps somewhere else will have burnt down last night. So, birthdays for Tuesday, April the 16th, 2019, to Jan Groves. Good morning, Jan. Happy birthday to you. Jake Riley. Hello, Jake. Jakey is 19 on Tuesday the 17th. Ian Little. Oh, you're with us, aren't you, Ian? Hang on a minute. Weren't you with us today? Over on... Let me see. Did you send a little message earlier? Oh, that was Ian Days, wasn't it? Oh, maybe not. No, maybe not. Sorry. Ian Little, happy birthday to you for Tuesday. Glen Pretty. Lovely Glen, 47 years old yesterday. Ben Taylor, he's up here in Woodall Spa. Good morning, Ben. Happy birthday to you. Pete Carnes was 33 years old. Hector Antonio Livros, great name. All right. Gordon Dack, happy birthday. Brett Raymond, 47 years old. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Now, didn't I put happy birthday on there? Have I still not loaded that on there, the happy birthday song? I can't have done, can I? Oh, hang on, Winamp. Let's see where that's playing out. It might be on my... No, don't think it is. Ah, that's a shame. No happy birthday. I'll have to sing it a cappella. That is without music. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls, all right? For your birthday on Tuesday there. Let's have a look. Gustav says, the chocolate bars are an amazing treat. Love you, Maureen. Isn't that nice? Thomas is saying I can go and have my tea now. Thank you, Thomas. You're very kind. And Paul and Lou is 8 hours early. No, you're not. You're not 8 hours early. You're 1 hour late, my friend. You're 1 hour late. Have a lovely end. Well, enjoy your sleep. Presumably some of you are going to bed now. Those of you in Australia, have a wonderful day today, gang. I'll hopefully be back with you tomorrow morning at some time, around about 9:30, I would think, tomorrow morning. I shall set my alarm clock tomorrow. We need to get back into the rhythm, back into the correct time zone. Have a lovely evening. Thanks ever so much for staying up and watching and listening to the show tonight. Good night now.